call. Today we have a special edition. Some of our badass moms are rejoining us to share some of their tips and tricks and just, get to know them better. So I think we're going to kick it off today with Sabrina.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good. Do you want to kick it off by just introducing yourself, telling us a little about who you are, where you were born, how many kids you have, and any other fun facts?
All right. So my name is Sabrina. I'm from New Jersey, born in Philadelphia, live in New Jersey. My son is 11 and my daughter is 7. I am 37 years old. I'm a full-time nurse. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week in Philadelphia. I've been a nurse for 15 years now. And I work in the resource pool there, which is basically, I don't have a home. I go wherever they need me that night. So I work all over the hospital, which is exciting because you always see different things. You kind of know everybody, so that's fun. And currently with everything going on, I am, a COVID nurse. I've been working on the COVID floors, in the emergency room a few times. So life's been a little crazy between that and then, being a full-time mom and a nurse and a teacher and trying to keep my sanity and everything else.
Well, thank you for joining us, because that is not a short list of things to do currently.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. That was the thing when this lockdown first happened. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have all this free time. I can do things I've been, putting off. And now I'm like, oh my God, I have less time than what I had before. But, overall, it's more time with the family, so that's always nice.
Absolutely. Well, I want to know, this is not one of our predetermined questions, but how do you look so fresh and beautiful knowing that you're working in a COVID, emergency room unit and teaching your kids?
Well, this is like the first thing I had to get dressed up for. So this is my excitement. And actually, I worked last night, so I got up around 4:30. So this is my morning. I'm fresh. I'm up. I have a fresh start right now.
Awesome. Love it.
My husband is very supportive, so he's taking care of the kids and the dogs and everything else while I'm here. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. One of the first questions we want to ask about is just, you've built this amazing community on Instagram, sharing your healthy lifestyle of being, like you said, a mom, a wife, a nurse, a teacher now added to the list. What are some of your biggest health and beauty tips that you found are most impactful when you share that with your audience?
Honestly, I feel like it's all about the basics, enough sleep, which, I'm guilty of not doing myself sometimes, but, enough sleep, drinking enough water, a balanced diet, all these things you need to have a good foundation before anything else. So that would be the most important thing, I think. And then, also on top of that is always, making sure you make time for yourself, because you need me time. You need time to take care for yourself before you can properly care for everybody else. So I think that would be the most important thing, is just having a good foundation.
And then I like what you said there about finding me time. So I think that, that used to be like maybe you went and got your nails done or your hair done or got a massage. All things we can't do right now in the current landscape. So has there been something that you found is like a good new me time?
Honestly, like it could be anything. For me, I mean, obviously, like I like to work out and things like that. So like I like to put aside, enough time for me to get my workouts in, not every day, 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
But even just getting up 15 minutes early before everybody else so I can have my coffee in peace and just like watch time is, me time. But everybody's different. Even if it's just some time to read a book or watch your favorite show on TV, just something that you enjoy doing, by yourself, taking a bubble bath, anything, just time to relax and gather your, just to make yourself sort of like de-stress from everything.
Absolutely.
But, I'm sure your mom will agree. When you're, when you're like frustrated and you're stressed and things are going on with the kids are fighting or the homework is getting overwhelming, whatever it is, you're not the best you for them when you're not taken care of. So, you know, and then again, the healthy diet, things like that, like they're all building blocks to making yourself better for you and for everybody else. So
love that. Love that.
So I want to reminisce a little bit.
Ooh.
And you were one of the first ever dreamers for the first Dream Walk fashion show. I remember seeing you and just being like, oh my God. So I want to know what that experience was like for you. Now, I know you're a bodybuilder and you're a competitor, so you've probably been on stage before. So that part maybe wasn't different, but how was Dream Walk different for you? And what did it mean to you?
So, well, I'm glad you said that, because actually, like, it was not easy for me at all, because no. I've always been like the more quiet and shy person. You know, it takes a lot for me to open up, and I don't like to be the center of attention. I played sports my whole life, but always, you know, like team sports. I've never been, you know, the one person on stage. So I competed a few times, and that was a big deal to get on stage and do that. And same thing with this, like I was very nervous, but going there, and I mean, you guys are great. You make everybody feel comfortable and at home, and all the girls were all like so amazing and so nice. And it was one of the best things like ever to be a part of. Like, I am so happy I did it. I'm so happy you guys reached out. Because it was a big, like, it was definitely stepping out of my comfort zone, because that's not comfortable for me at all. So
you didn't show that one bit. You look like a professional model, let me tell you.
Well, thank you.
What would you say, like, how are you able, you said it's not easy for you to like get out there and be the center of attention or get on stage. I think a lot of our dreamers struggle with that. They're very much introverted, or they don't have the confidence yet. How are you able to say, okay, I'm gonna do it? Like, what brings you there?
God, honestly, like, it is just, you know, because we all have our insecurities. Like, you know, I mean, the things you guys are saying they're nice, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel good. But, you know, but I have my own insecurities, like things that I don't like about myself, things I wish I could change, you know, things that I'm constantly working on. And, you know, it's just like a matter of just saying, like, okay, like, this is who I am, and these are the things I want to improve on. And that's, you know, you do what you can to improve, whether it's a physical thing or a personality trait, anything. And you just do your best, and don't, you know, like, who cares about, you know, the zit you have on your face, or, you know, if your hair's not looking the best that day, or whatever it is you don't like about yourself. Like, who cares? Like, everything, like, beauty is so subjective, and you know, some people like tall women, some people like short women, everything is different. So you just have to accept and love yourself, and then the people around you will come, like that positive energy and everything. Like, it's true. It's such a true thing, you know? So that's, you know, I don't know, that's what I tell myself, and that's my advice to everybody else. Just be happy with who you are, and, you know, just go with it.
I love that. I think it's something that, you know, we need to hear more often, because it's hearing it repeatedly that finally makes you believe it. And I'm wondering, as a mom, what do you tell your children? So what were the ages of your kids right now?
11 and 7.
Okay, so as young children that are still probably very impressionable, what are some things that you're saying to them, or that you're doing to help them maybe have an easier journey accepting themselves?
I know, because nowadays it's so hard too. It's social media and everything that, you know, they're exposed to so much more than we were growing up. But again, like, always, like, love yourself. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, and I tell them all the time, not everybody's going to like you. It doesn't matter how, you know, if you're the cool kid in school or if you're not everybody's going to like you. And who cares? The people that don't like you, they don't matter to your life, you know. Ignore them and move on. Like, find the friends who do like you for you, and the people who do respect you, and the people you get along with, and hang out with them. Like, don't let the negativity in, because and that's the thing too, is no matter what you do in life, like, there's going to be people who are negative, whether it's because they genuinely don't like something you have to say, or if they're jealous of you, or whatever it is, there's always going to be people that are, trying to bring you down. On the bottom line too, another thing I tell them too, because again, like, I want them to be confident, but I don't want them to be the bullies either,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I tell them, the people who, like, the mean people are usually the people who have had something mean done to them, or they're hurting inside. So, there's no reason to be mean to them, whatever, just ignore them and move on, and try to help the people that you do see that those things affect. Like, you should be, if you see somebody being made fun of, whatever, like, you should go over and say, hey, like, you should make friends with those people, or tell them, like, it's gonna be okay, or whatever it is. Like, I just try to, I don't know, guide them that way, and, just constantly reinforcing. And I'm sure they're gonna have plenty of things in life that, no matter what I tell them, they're gonna be affected. But, I just do my best, again, building that foundation for them, and hopefully, hopefully they soak it all in. So
love that. I'm going to steal Bite Size Sis's usual ending question for all of our speakers, and it's going to be either an easy one or a hard one, depending on if you got it on like that. So we'd like to always know, what is your favorite quote, or what is a message that always inspires you?
Oh man.
You have a lot of good ones in your so it's hard for you, I'm sure, to pick one.
I know. Well, and the funny thing is like, there's so many, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, there's so many different like resources to find things. But the ones that always, I guess, pull me in are just, the quotes about, I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to tell you a specific one at all.
Think about it, and at the end, we'll come back to everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
So now, Wendy, Shaquita, you know what's coming. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for joining us. We really appreciate it, and thank you for sharing all those amazing insights. Wendy, one of our 2018 Dreamers. We're going right down the line here. Philadelphia alumni.
Yes. Hello, beautiful ladies.
Hello. Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, a little bit about you, how many kids you've got, what you do.
Sure.
Hit us with it.
All right. So let's see. My name is Wendy Lyles. I am proud to say that I'm 53 years old.
Yes!
I have two beautiful daughters, Ashley, who just graduated. Well, I'll say she defended her thesis for her master's on yesterday.
Wow.
Oh, right. And then tomorrow is her official graduation. So we're really proud of that. And Taylor, my baby, is finishing her second year up in Maryland. So she is still in Maryland. But the two of them, of course, are my pride and joy, which, Cindy, I'm sure you can relate to.
Yes.
Let's see, what do I do? So I work for AAA. Everyone knows AAA. Hopefully have had great
experience. Called them a couple times, yeah.
Good. And hopefully they showed up on time and
yeah, 3 hours later, Wendy.
Great. What else can I tell you? A fun fact about me. Fun fact. Well, the one that I normally share is, it's not necessarily fun, but it is very interesting because I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
What? Really? How did we go 2 years without knowing this? Good tell.
It was awesome. I was not a guest. I was just in the audience, but it was a wonderful experience. It was so great. So that is something that a lot of people don't know. So usually when you have to tell something that people don't know about you, I let them know that I met Oprah and her best girlfriend, Gail.
Very cool.
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
And who was on it? What's his name? Enrique.
So like.
Yes. And Gwen Stefani.
Very cool.
And she was introducing her new line of clothing. And then that's when Oprah was like a size 6. And I remember Gwen holding up this little tiny skirt, and Oprah was like, there's no way I can fit this. And that's, she was really, really small. And so she went backstage and put it on, and of course she could fit it. It was amazing.
Oh, that's so cute.
You're leaving out something about you. You're doing a lot of fitness instruction.
I am a spinning
You left that out totally. Tell us
instructor.
about that.
So I've always enjoyed spinning. Probably have been doing spinning now for, I don't know, 6-7 years maybe. And an opportunity presented itself last year. And even though I'm just old, I still like to have a lot of fun, right? And I'm like, well, why not? Like, very rarely does Mad Dog spinning instructors come this close to where I live. And they were literally in my backyard. And so one of my friends tagged me and said, you know, why don't you just get certified? And of course, I never turned down a challenge. I don't turn it down. And I said, absolutely. So 10 hours of instruction, 3 hours of spinning. We finally, passed the exam after 2 days. And then I became certified and I started teaching almost immediately after that.
Wow, very cool. Congratulations.
So, thank you. But then of course, Corona shut us all down. So no more spinning.
Hey, we'll hang in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely will do.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's a great spot for us to start. Is I think that a lot of things unexpectedly always happen, and things that I guess as a mother you don't always plan for. So I think one of the first questions that our audience wanted to know is, what are some of the most important lessons, or maybe some of the unexpected things that you learned as a mother?
Oh boy, as a mother, there are unexpected things. I think the one thing that I really wasn't necessarily prepared for, but really appreciate it now, is creating this really safe space for my daughters to talk to me about anything. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate their honesty. But then you learn a lot of things that you may not necessarily.
I know.
But I asked for it, right? So I just opened it up. You kind of take the mother out of it for a minute and really meet them where they are, and try to be that friend that that they're looking for, and that you also opened the gate for. And so while I wanted that type of relationship, I didn't expect for it to come with such honesty and openness. But you get what you ask for, right? And I appreciate it. And they turn out fine. But some of our conversations are very raw.
That is something that I think there's some moms that do that and some that don't. I feel like we have a pretty open and honest relationship, right?
And I think the other thing as a mother that you weren't expecting is you have so many more burdens and stress on you, because every problem that your child has, you have. So you have your own problems at work, in your relationship, at everything. And then they come home from school and they got a bad grade on their test. Or, they're in a bad, they got dumped, a bad relationship, or their job is not going well and they had a problem with a coworker. So like you said, they tell you everything, and now you have 2-3 times as much stress on you because now you're worrying about everybody.
Exactly. And that's part of being a mom, I think. I mean, you obviously have to put yourself aside, because when they need me, they need all of me, right? And so my problems aside, I have to give them my undivided attention to help them navigate through their own problems, which you and I know, Cindy, it's not necessarily the end of the world, but when you're in it,
it feels like.
It feels like it's the end of the world, so I address it that way. However, we know this too shall pass and they'll get over it. But certainly it was something that I wanted to have, but didn't expect it to come so full blown like it has. But it's been great. So prepare yourself, Sabrina.
I was just gonna say, my daughter just had a meltdown yesterday because she accidentally deleted her Netflix account, and she had to choose. And it was the first day ever, and she's crying. I'm like, I'm like, it's not something to cry about. She's like, you don't understand, Mom. You don't get it.
Right. And there will be lots more of that where you just don't understand, Mom. So get ready.
So talking about moms, I want to ask you, as a wonderful dreamer in the past.
Yes.
you walked out on that runway with those huge white wings and just commanded that stage. What did it feel like for you being a mom, representing moms? What can you show other moms to inspire them?
First of all, I would say to seize the opportunity, right? It was so super amazing that I have to say it's probably one of the top 10 things that I've done that I really, really enjoyed. When I was first interested in participating and then got the official notification that I made it in, I, of course, like everyone else, was a little nervous, but then I was like, girl, get over it. And take this opportunity and just let it all hang out. And so for me, I put on my alter ego, right? Simone, which is my middle name. Simone, you are going to own this stage. You're going to find a rockin' pair of wings, and you are going to take this chance at 50 plus years old and just let it all hang out in a nice way. And so that's what I did. I just said, you know what? I'm representing my daughters. I want them to see that no matter what age, what size, what differences you have, if you are given an opportunity, take it. And if you take it, give it all that you have.
Love that. I got goosebumps.
Perfect.
So did I.
Yes, so I thank you guys so much for that wonderful experience. I mean, I cannot tell you how much it really meant to me. And I had a lot of support, not just from you guys, but all of the dreamers and then all of my family and friends. And to this day, I still hear about it. I ran into one of my girlfriend's husband today, and he goes, can you just send us that picture of you with the wings at the end when you just went like this? We just need this in the house. You know, and that was just today, nonetheless. So
that's amazing.
Good.
That makes me
Yeah.
so happy.
A happy moment.
it really, really, really was a blessing. So thank you guys for even thinking of such a great opportunity for people to do. It's wonderful.
It's been our pleasure, and I think one of the things that makes us the happiest is we've had so many moms that are interested in the fashion show, and a lot of them want to do something for themselves or do something that gives them back their confidence, because a lot of them are young moms, and it's really hard when your body changes initially, right after you've had kids, and you sometimes yourself.
Girl, not even right after, years later, you are still working to get back to like that, 20-something body. That's why I don't stop. When people say, how do you keep going? I'm like, because I know that there is something more in me that is dying to come out, and I'm not going to stop working out until I get there. So
Good. I love it.
Good.
Well, thank you so much, Wendy.
Of course. Anytime.
Do you know your quote, or are you going to save it till the end?
She's going to save it till the end.
All right, we'll save
Surprise.
it. Surprise.
I'll stay into the end.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Well, now we are moving on to 2019. And we have Shaquita.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you all?
We're doing good. Hanging in there, getting to talk with some amazing Dreamwalk people. So, great day.
I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh.
Tell us about you and where you're from and what you do.
So my name is Shaquita Garcia. I currently live in New York City. I'm not sure if you can hear all the commotion going on outside, but I live in Manhattan. So, the weather was nice today, so there are still people out and about. I'm 33 years old, and I have two babes. My oldest is 2, and my youngest is 7 months. So my little baby walked the runway with me, which was super exciting. And I am currently a stay-at-home mom, but I also have a mommy magazine and a mommy podcast, and I'm a momager. I do a bunch of stuff. I can't say much more. It's a long list.
Well, I mean, we get to see it on social media, and it's a wonderful thing. I love that skirt behind you that I see, or dress. That was one of my favorite things you've ever
Oh.
worn. I love the rainbow more than anything.
Listen, I know you guys do. And honestly, I had a whole like rainbow outfit going on before I joined, and my daughter spit up on me. So I was like, oh great. Now I have to change. That's awesome.
Well, I love the background. It adds a pop of color and it makes my day.
Thank you. I'm so glad. And this thing is so poofy. I can't store it anywhere, so it just has to hang by itself.
It deserves its own rack. It's that magnificent.
So I want to start off by reminiscing back to your Dream Walk fashion show. And you were the first pregnant woman that we had walk in the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
What surprised me or stunned me was your sense of style.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, I didn't even really notice the part that you were pregnant, even though like you were ready to drop the kid at any minute. But your sense of style, and I saw you getting your hair and makeup done, and you were very particular about what you wanted and how you wanted it to look. And your outfit was just so stunning. I mean, I think that's an inspiration for a lot of women, and especially pregnant women, because sometimes you don't feel that stunning when you're pregnant, and you feel fat and ugly and out of shape. So tell me how you walked that runway with such confidence, and what you wanted to show the world about being pregnant and about being a woman.
And first, how many months pregnant were you when you walked away?
So my due date was the next day. Yeah. So I was a full 9 months pregnant.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So actually my answer to this question has a lot of layers. One, I got so emotional with you guys because when I was a teen, I wanted to be a model. I was a fan of, Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell. And I actually went to Barbizon to try to get like that model training. And they told me like, you're too short. You're too hippie. Like they went down a whole list of things. And I mean, at the time I was a size 0. So I was like, how is this possible that I'm too hippie to be a model? Like, how could that be? Yeah. So the walking down the runway, first off with a pregnant belly on top of that, and I'm wearing like, a bodysuit. Yeah. So it's like, there were so many things going on. It was like, okay, so every single thing that they told me I couldn't be, this is what I am today.
Yes. Love it.
I mean, body conscious. I stood tall, and I mean, my heels weren't that high because I couldn't do it, but they were high enough. And I was like, I'm standing tall on this runway. I'm a Black girl. My hair is natural. Like every single thing they said that I couldn't be today on this runway, this is who I am. And for me, it was like, I wanted to have that imagery for my daughter to say like, this is what mommy and you did, and you can be and do whatever you want. Don't let like a certain industry or, just people in general tell you that you can't be this person. Like, and even still today, like I call myself a model. From that moment on, I was like, yes! I'm a model. Okay.
And you carry yourself like a model in all your posts and your stories. I mean, you look like a model.
Thank you. And I mean, I'm just for the record, like I started doing modeling gigs with my son because both of my children model as well. And I wouldn't I wouldn't apply for gigs by myself. They would only be like joint kind of like baby food things because I'm like, I can't stand on my own. But then after I did Dream Walk, I went out there on a limb and started like doing these gigs by myself, and they booked me. So I was like, what have I been waiting on all this time?
Yes.
Yes.
And not to interrupt you, like that's what makes the difference is your confidence and just like thinking like, okay, it's going to happen. I feel like people get that vibe from you. So
yes.
I like it. I like your vibe.
Thank you.
That's one thing we're all working on is positive vibes and manifesting.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's amazing. I have to also ask, what did it mean to walk in a fashion show? I think you already touched on the fact that there were very strict standards around models for the last God knows how long. What did it mean for you to be able to kind of shatter those standards and walk a runway not a size 0, 9 months pregnant, something that I don't think before the last year I've ever seen on a runway?
Well, it meant a lot. I mean, it was something that I didn't show after the show because I was so tired. But once I got home and I kicked my shoes off, and I actually said to myself in the mirror, and I was talking to Zoe as well, my baby, I was like, we did it. We did it. And I literally burst into tears. You have no idea, because it meant so much to me. Because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't just walking a runway. Like, this was a monumental moment, like, internally for me. So you don't even know, like, the night that I saw a video of one of the Dreamwalk fashion shows on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I actually like found the form and I filled it out, and I was like, oh, I know they're not going to pick me, but I'll give it a shot anyway, because, you know, I'm a big whale. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do walking down that runway. But then when I got the email, I was at the beach, like, celebrating my friend's birthday, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And she was like, "Are you going in labor?" I was like, no, they picked me to walk in the show.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that.
It meant a lot. I mean, honestly, from the moment I filled out that form to the night when I took my shoes off and I sat down, I was just like, wow, this experience was so amazing, and I can't wait to share this with my daughter when she's born.
Aww.
So
thank you so much. We loved having you a part of it. And so now, how old is your daughter right now?
She is 7 months.
All right, so 7 months old. So as a new mom, in that you have younger children, I think Wendy's kind of, she's already done the hard stuff. She gets to semi-enjoy life now. Sabrina, you're kind of in like the shittiest situation out of everyone, I think. Yeah, you've got to be the teacher. What's it about adjusting to having young children, and what's been some of the best and I guess the hardest parts, or any tips you have for young moms?
I will say, just my greatest tip is to just be kind to yourself, because it's a lot. And I mean, even today, because honestly, my days before the coronavirus happened, like, my days were so busy and they ran together so much that I literally can only think about what happened today. And today was a struggle. You know, luckily my husband's working from home, but I had to ask him, you know, I was cooking breakfast and I had to ask him, hey, can you come out and, you know, give me a hand and change Zoe's diaper, because, you know, I'm struggling a bit. And that's the thing. You have to be able to say it out loud and say it to your partner, like, I don't have it all together today. Some days you're going to rock it out. And then there are other days you're going to struggle and you're going to say, like, you know, I can't do all of this today. So today was one of those days where I was like, hey, I need a little bit of help. And, you know, he's very supportive in that way, but it took me a while to kind of like be open about that, because I'm always so like structured and I have everything together, but it was hard for me to say, I don't have my shit together today. So like, it took me a long time to kind of like be able to like voice that out loud and just say, like, today I don't have it all together and I'm not perfect today, and it's okay. It's totally okay, because guess what? Your kids don't even notice that, you know, you didn't make the Play-Doh with them today. That's what you had planned, but they don't know, they don't care, you know? So I will say, just be kind to yourself, and you know, that's really all I can say. I have beat myself up so much, like, in the past 2 years with my first child, that like my second one, I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do this to myself. I am a great mom. Stop it. Just stop.
Love that. I have nothing to add. That was amazing and very eloquently said.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm just gonna put a bow on it and wrap it up with that. So what I want to do now is we got a couple of questions from our post that some of our audience members and some of our community wanted to know. So I'm just gonna open it up to an open forum. Sabrina, Wendy, Shaquita, whoever wants to answer it. The first question was, what are some good tips to help build your brand? I know all of you have a brand online. You have made yourself into something people look into. What are some of the tips that you have? And whoever wants to go first.
I'll
go. Away.
So just the first thing off the top of my head is just to be consistent and be passionate about what you do. If you are enjoying and liking what you do, other people are going to notice that, and they're going to be attracted to it and be interested and want to know more. So that's my answer.
Absolutely. I love that. Wendy, Shaquita?
Yeah, mine is kind of similar to Sabrina. I guess for me, I want a lot of my friends, peers to realize that at no matter what age, so over 50 or not, that it's never too late for you to take control of your health and your fitness level.
Yeah.
And that no matter how you look, start by doing something, move something. And so mostly what I post is really about whatever workout I'm doing, whether it's walking, whether it's spinning, whether it's lifting, whether it's trying to eat healthy, which isn't always, because, I do like my food. However, my biggest, what I try to influence or motivate people to recognize is that it's never too late. Just do something to keep you moving. You feel so much healthier and better that I think that carving out, even if it's 10, 15, 20 minutes a day for yourself to move something, that's what's really important to me. And that's the message I'm trying to convey for the 50 plus crowd.
Hell yeah.
Girl, I'm going to get on that treadmill when we get done here.
That's right, Cindy. That's right.
I guess I could just add that maybe just also try to be as transparent as possible. I know that that's like difficult for a lot of us to do, to just like let someone in, a lot of people in, but just definitely letting your brand, letting people who are following your brand like see who you are. Like, we definitely like have services or products that we offer, but I know that people like to feel like they know you, or like, oh, that's my sister, or that's my auntie, or like it's a personal level for people.
Yep. And then as a follow-up to that question, we were also wondering, or one of our followers were wondering, what are some resources that you guys utilize? So you're an editor-in-chief of Modern Women's Magazine. So what are some resources that maybe you use or you find helpful? Is there anything that you like to turn to, a podcast, a book, someone you follow?
So I actually get all of my inspiration from my mom friends, believe it or not. How could I say it? I speak with a lot of moms about like mental health. So a lot of these things are either issues that they've gone through, or they have a friend who's going through the same thing. So I develop my articles based on things like that. So, and then like a personal issue for me was postpartum depression. So I talk about it all the time because I've been through it. I've survived it, and I've moved forward from it. But I know that there are other people who are still in that space, or who are gonna be in that space tomorrow or the next day. So I kind of like gain my articles from these personal experiences as well.
I like that. You draw from what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and same thing, kind of following what she said is, sometimes no matter whatever you're going through or whatever you need help with, sometimes we tend to want to go to the people who we're closest to, whether it's, your partner or your parent or a sister or your best friend. But sometimes like they don't understand, like they don't, for fitness, for example, they're not into it like you are, or they don't. So it's the same thing, like reaching out to other people who are in the same community and the same interests as you is sometimes the best thing, sometimes it's a perfect stranger who gives you the best advice, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
And I guess for me, just to put the closing on it, I guess my biggest resources, of course, are my daughters and my inner circle of friends. I have tons of friends who are very encouraging and very inspiring, and they look up to me to hold. And so when they look to me as their resource, I look to them as their continued inspiration and support. And so I think together it works out perfectly that way. So we just all lean in on each other and encourage each other to just keep pushing forward.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask each lady, what do you think is the favorite part of your career? Your life? Career, life, being a mother. We're talking about moms here. What's your greatest achievement and what gives you the most happiness?
Wendy, kick it off.
Maybe because my daughters are, 20 and 24. So I've seen, a lot of years come through. And I think the proudest is just really watching them grow into the young women that they are, right? Watching them overcome a lot of hurdles, just a lot, especially in this world where social media for them was so prominent, and being able to have really heart-to-heart conversations about the do's and don'ts, because they were really in the midst of social media and the influence it had on young teens. And I knew nothing, of course, at that time. That was so new to my generation. But I recognized how big of an impact it had on them. And they could have went to the left or the right. And fortunately, they prevailed, and both of them sort of saw the bigger picture and thought, I don't necessarily want to go down this path. I'm going to choose this one, but not without making mistakes, because God knows they've made their share of mistakes. But I think that's what makes me the proudest, watching them and seeing the mistakes that they've actually made, but watching how they grew from their mistakes to become the young ladies that they are today.
And they turned out so well because they had you as a teacher.
Girl, well, thank you, love. It's work, though. Being a mom is so much work.
But you lead by example. And
yes,
so
this is true.
What you did and what you do now teaches them more than you can ever imagine.
That is so very, very true, Cindy. So true. Yeah. So for Shaquita and Sabrina, the key to all these gems we're dropping, girls. Your babies are going to need you.
Yeah.
Sabrina, you can go next, because we'll go down the oldest to youngest for the children here.
It's a hard question, because I feel like there's because your kids go through so many different stages of life, and each stage comes different challenges for them and for you. So but right now, like in this moment, my proudest thing, I guess, is just the fact, like everything that's going on in the world with the COVID, and just like nurses being called like the heroes and different things like that. Like it makes me proud that right now that's my profession, and my kids are growing up like and seeing this all happen, and wow, Mom, they're cheering for you and they're clapping for you, and not just me. It's of course it's all like healthcare professionals and everything. Like that's just like really, I don't know, it just makes me proud and happy, and I hope that it inspires them to want to do something.
Absolutely, I love that.
That's it.
Oh, my turn?
Yes, go for it, girl.
Sorry. Wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
What's your proudest moment right now as your favorite part of being a mom?
Okay, that was right. Okay. So, I mean, mine are fairly young. So I still feel like I'm in a little bit of a hurricane season, but I will say that recently, my son, I can't even remember what I did for him, but he said to me, Mom, you're so amazing. And I was like,
oh.
Thank you. Oh my God. It's like, job well done.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So it was definitely a proud mommy moment, especially since he could actually say that full sentence. So I was like, yeah, we're doing something right here. I love this.
I love that. That's amazing.
Okay, quote time.
Yes.
Quote time.
Who's got
Lead
their
us with
quote?
I
inspirational.
got mine.
All right, let's go. Kick it off, girl.
Okay, so there's two quotes. And one of them I tell all my mom friends all the time. And this is true. This is what I live by. And I think I might have said it a little bit, but I always say there is no such thing as a perfect mom, but you are the perfect mom for your children.
Good. I love that.
That's
good.
Good.
Good Mother's Day.
Yeah. No pressure, Sabrina and Wendy. No pressure.
Well, mine is easy because I default to the Bible, and I always believe in raising my kids to what you said earlier, Cindy, which it comes from Proverbs 22, which basically says, train up a child the way that he should go, and when she is old, not he, she will not depart from it. And so anytime that I am trying to convey a message and what I want my children to do, I remind them of Proverbs 22:6 that says just that. You raise them the way that you want them to go, and they will never depart from it.
I love that. Lead by example.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, I guess my quote, again, there's so many, but and it's short and sweet. It's just mindset is everything, right? Because no matter what you're going through in life, some people have the worst luck and things just never go their way, but they always find a way to either learn from it or to grow from it, or, and that's it, just staying positive and trying to, find a good out of anything bad that happens, and that's why I tell my kids all the time too. I'm like, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But if you learn from the mistake, then it's, that it's a good thing it happened because you learned, and the lesson is to not do it again. You learn from it, and that's, and the bad thing would be keep making the mistake over and over again. So that's, but mindset is everything.
I love that.
That's right.
And then Shaquita, what's your other quote that you have?
Oh, so it's the Serenity Prayer.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. So I
What
have to say that in order to survive, because you just have to literally be content with the things that you cannot change, and just believe that, whatever else is going on, God will just definitely make sure that you are okay. So stop worrying about everything. Just do what you need to do, and everything else will fall into place. You can't worry about things that you can't change, and it's true right now to the situation that we're in right now. Because I was just yesterday worrying about everything that could possibly happen, and then I'm like, what, are you crazy? Like, stop this just be thankful. You guys haven't wanted for anything. Everybody is healthy, everybody is happy. Just be chill.
I love that.
You want to ask me mine?
Yes, let's hear yours, Bite Size Mom.
So when Alice and Lexi were in high school, they were in forensics and they gave speeches for competitions.
We were cool kids. Don't let her fool you.
And one of the speeches, I think it was Lexi's.
Yeah.
Her last statement was, and I think Mary Kay Ash used it as a businesswoman, never, never, never give up.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all screw up. We all make mistakes.
Yep, that's
we all
true.
have problems, but never give up.
She's gonna break the table on that one.
It was Winston Churchill, Mom.
Is that but Mary Kay Ash?
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and
I'm sure.
I just wanted to say, I got kicked outside, so I'm sitting on the front porch because I was making too much noise. But I just want to thank Wendy, Shaquita, and Sabrina for taking time to hop on this. I'm not a mom and I don't plan on being for a few years, but you guys, just your energy and your inspiration and your thoughts, like it's just so powerful and beautiful. And we really appreciate you and we appreciate all you do. And happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day. You are a
Thank
superhero
you.
and
Thank
continue to
you.
shine because you do.
Thank you so
you.
much. And thank you
Yes.
for having
So-
me. I
Yes.
really
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Sabrina-
again, ladies.
Oh, thank you guys.
Well, we
And
hope everyone enjoyed
Shaquita, it was nice meeting you guys. You guys are
Nice meeting you
Hi.
too.
So, guys.
And thank you for all of our Dreamwalk community that joined. If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask those now. And you don't have to, no pressure. But if anyone wants to ask anything, they're all really nice women. We've seen that firsthand today. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone has a great rest of your night and happy early Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Happy
Thank
Mother's
you, guys.
Day.
You guys.
Be
Bye.
good.
Love you.
Bye. Bye-bye.